In a world where there are too many comic books to keep up with, one podcast has the stones to bring you all of your comic book needs. Week by week, book by book. One epic show. You are now tuned in to Nerd Church Radio.
All right, hello and welcome to NCRDC Mass episode number 39. I remembered it this week.
Good job.
I know, thank you. It's hard being this awesome sometimes, but I am your host, Ben Dupay.
Brad B10.
Travis Roseberry.
And we are your DC comic book overlords. How's everyone doing this week?
Doing good. It was a nice week, nice normal temperature. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't normal temperatures. It's hotter than hot out here in Iowa.
Yeah.
How's your week going, man?
Good, man. My sister came in town on Friday. Yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Yeah. And so I took her to both of my jobs, showed her my office, and we saw Wonder Woman too.
Nice. Cool.
I saw it the second time. She had seen it for the first time then. So have you seen it yet?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
Cool.
It's good.
Hey, Ariel, do you want to babysit tonight so I can go see it? She just rolled her eyes really, really hard at that one. No.
I'm sure she would, actually. But, yeah, I actually bought a statue last night, Wonder Woman statue.
Oh, nice.
That's cool. I like it.
Yeah, I'm building
Who's
that
the artist on that or sculptor or whatever, you know?
No idea. It's actually meant to be a paperweight too, but it was a pretty good deal. It was like $50, and I get a discount, so that's nice.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm building that whole shelf of. Actually, you guys probably haven't seen the Harley one either since you've been here too. But yeah, I got the Harley Quinn one too. So building the DC superhero girls. So
and that's the fun Harley Quinn too. That's the one for the Batman animated
series. Yeah,
I like that.
That's my favorite one.
Yep.
Actually, I'm buying one for that's from it's Zatanna from that series too.
Oh, that's
nice.
cool.
Yeah, they have a Zatanna one.
There's a character that I would love to see again come back. And
I know. Yeah, and we will at some point. I thought with like Abracadabra we might see it come back.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we are a DC Comics fan podcast. If you can't tell by our 2 minutes of nerding out about my trinkets. So yeah, so we talk about DC Comics. We do get into the news and the movies and all that stuff sometimes, but we are solely a comic book podcast. We are also a spoiler podcast, or a Stephanie Brown podcast, as Noah likes to say. That's because Stephanie Brown is spoiler in the DCU. We
spoil.
Yeah,
Jeez,
I know.
Wow.
I know, right? Yeah, she's gonna kill me. I just
we
gave away
passed
her secret
right a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So we do have a website where you can check out all of our written reviews. We do write reviews for the comics. Specifically, Noah, Ariel, and I write reviews for the comics. And Noah, Ariel, and I also do a second show where we cover some of the monthly releases. That's called DC Communion. 2 weekly shows that we do on NCR. So if you want to check out those written reviews, that's nerdchurchradio.com. We also have a Patreon website where you can donate to us if you feel like it. We like to say help us keep the lights on, and by that I don't mean actually keep the lights on. I think I mean help us pay our hosting fees and stuff like that. And for that donation, you get all sorts of goodies like random little garbage that we send to you, not
it's good garbage, though.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's like little stuff, figures, and nerds love. Like I'm a sucker for that type of stuff, so I figure most other comic book fans are too. So.
Which I just found another comic that I'll throw in for the next one. It's a Sandman comic,
cool.
Graphic novel, I should say. Actually,
nice, so, killer.
Remind me next week. I'll bring it over. So
awesome, very cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we're gonna have a contest at some point here soon. I've just been too busy. I haven't had time to promote it yet, but we'll get there. But if you do want to donate to our humble cause and help us, keep our hosting costs paid and everything like that, that's patreon.com/nerdchurchradio.
And thank you for everybody who's already donated.
Yeah, yeah. And just to let people know too, when we've reached, which I think we have, our hosting is paid for Patreon. So when we anything additionally that we receive is going into like a piggy bank or a jar or something, and I'm using it to save up to fund like making T-shirts for people. And at that point, I'll send like T-shirts to everyone who's been a patron. Obviously all the hosts will get one, and then we'll start selling them too. So
is that why you took my picture? You're gonna put it on a T-shirt?
Yeah, that is. Yeah,
better be an extra large because my head is so big.
Can you guess what words we're gonna be next? Yeah.
Travis is right all the time.
That is.
Is that right?
How did you know?
I have a feeling.
I don't know. Yeah. We do have a mail segment here on NCR where we...
yes, we are all male here.
Yes, we are.
Oh, wait, no.
No?
Sorry, go ahead.
On this specific show, we are all male, yes.
Yeah.
So we talk about listener emails. Sometimes if someone calls and leaves us a message, we will play it on the show if we think it brings up some good talking points or anything. If you want to email us, you can mail us at nerdchurchradio@gmail.com. And if you want to leave a message on our listener line, you can do so at 641-715-3900, extension 345703. That being said, I do have some mail this week, so I'll move things on to the mail segment.
Awesome.
All right, so for mail this week, I got to get to it because I'm lazy and I didn't, actually I'm just not lazy, forgetful, and I forgot to pull it up before the show started, so I'm talking right now to try and fill up time while looking for this thing.
Shh, don't say anything.
You know what really grinds my gears?
What grinds your gears, Ben?
Okay, here's the mail. I'm done. All right, so we got it. So great podcast, guys. I listen nearly every week. Your work has brought me back to buying comic books rather than waiting for trades. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. You're welcome, DC.
Yep. Right. Overall, the quality of your podcast is very solid. So we're very solid podcast. Cool. I like it. Yeah. So it may be too late to whine about the button arc. No,
go for it, man.
Never too late to complain about something. I do it all the time. I'm still complaining about comic books from the 40s and 50s. So it may be too late to whine about the button arc, but I reject your position that a glimpse of Dr. Manhattan is enough to satisfy.
Ooh,
you, sir,
shots fired.
You, sir, are not alone in that opinion. In fact, I think I have fewer believers than you do on my side. So, well, yes, we killed Thawne, but no one thinks he's going to really stay dead. Which, as we all know, he's back already.
Yep.
The best part of the story arc was Batman's interaction with his father. I don't know. I think, like, for me, that blue hand was the best. I was just so excited about it that it was just like, this is the first time we're seeing Dr. Manhattan cross over into a DC comic. So, as a lover of Watchmen and as a lover of DC, I think, like, seeing those two collide and being like, yeah, I own this issue. This is historically the first time that those characters came, I'm a sucker for that. So so that was the best part for me. What was y'all's best part for the button, do you think? Real quick.
I would probably have to say the Batman meeting his dad.
That was a big one.
Yeah, I mean... maybe I take that back.
I liked when Reverse Flash kicked Batman's butt in the back. That was solid for me.
That first issue, I really wish the whole 4 story arc was drawn by Jason Fabok.
Oh yeah.
I really liked the art from the last 3 issues, but I think that art from the first one was just incomparable. It was just such a beautiful issue, and it was like 60-second countdown was just so cool.
Yeah.
So he goes on to say, from my perspective, what makes DC superior to Marvel are the villains.
True.
That's one of many things. Yeah. And they seem to be missing from Rebirth.
True.
And I tend to agree with you there. Is DC going to end up like Marvel, where the heroes have to fight each other because the villains are too weak to be interesting?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, what villains do you think we've had so far from Rebirth?
Well, Lex isn't really a villain anymore.
Right.
Well, that we know of.
Villainish.
He's working something in a background. What else do we got? I don't know Arrow that well, but you've been reviewing that, Brad. So he's got less like.
We had the Dark Archer on there already.
Okay.
and he's disappeared because he's with Diggle.
Batman really doesn't have a villain because he's been bouncing between books and besides Bane.
I think Volthoom is a really good one from
Volthoom
Green
is,
Lanterns.
yeah.
I think there have been some good villains. I think like they're kind of setting up the
but they're
Watchmen.
not the huge classic bomb villain.
No,
They're more just
unless
like
you're Brian Hitch, and then they're all huge classic
Right.
bomb villains,
Bet
and
your
like
time.
it has
Wait,
no
you
weight.
said classic? You mean like the classic failures? Or
Harsh words, fine words. Yeah, no, they are pretty bad. But yeah, I don't know. I think like
Kumbaya, my lord.
yeah, the
Kumbaya.
Singing Giants is what he's referring to from the very first story arc that Brian Hitch wrote for Justice League.
Right.
So, yeah, I think Volthoom's a really good one. I do think that they're kind of setting up the Watchmen to be like the giant villains, and so like everything else is just going to pale in comparison to that, and it sucks because you have to wait till November.
Yeah,
it's like I'm going to be seeing Star Wars and reading this in comics, and it's going to be a good winter. So
winter is coming.
Yeah, winter is coming.
And we can't wait.
Yeah, I know. I'm very excited. So that keep up the good work. Peace be upon you. Peace be with you too, Jason. And he said, "I am Jason Merritt from Orange Park, Florida." So
wow, Florida, way to go!
Yeah,
man,
all the
thanks
way
for
around.
listening.
And we thought we were hot here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're complaining about the heat. He's there.
He's like, it's a normal day.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, thank you, Jason. We really appreciate the mail, and we will move things on to a little bit of news. All right, so moving on to the news segment this week.
What's in the news?
We got a couple pieces of news this week. So Aquaman, I hate ads. All right, Aquaman gets powerful new direction, new artist with oversized number 25.
Yeah.
And I think this is what Ariel was talking about when she was saying the oversized issues.
Yeah.
So the Aquaman is the king of Atlantis no more with the events of this week's issues and heading towards the oversized Aquaman 25 later this month. Arthur Curry has lost his seat at the throne and is trapped within the undersea world, hunted by the very guards he used to command. Aquaman 25 also begins with what writer Dan Abnett calls a very powerful new direction for the title, with the new artist Steven Sajic giving the book a new visual style. So
would they say something like that? Sorry to sidetrack you there.
No, go for it.
But do you think that they're going to start redrawing or slowly blending the Aquaman we all know with the orange suit and blonde hair into the Aquaman of the Justice League movie?
I think so.
You think they're going to start doing
longer
that?
Hair, beard, yep.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. Okay,
Yeah. There have been a couple solicits.
Ben just showed me a picture of the new Aquaman. He's got a little bit of a beard. He's got more of a red hair, long hair. Yeah.
And for the first time, I can actually say I'm excited for an Aquaman book.
Ooh, hey, look at that! Look at that.
The Aquaman book has been. I actually
It's
like.
hit or miss.
I've started reading it just because I've actually started reading a few new things with the Communion show.
Yeah.
And I have a couple new favorite books from Rebirth, actually. Like Harley Quinn is actually really good.
Harley Quinn is funny.
It's so good. I love it. It's just, for what it is, it's great.
I bought, you guys reviewed and were giving it praises, but Suicide Squad, when it first came out, Rebirth, and I was like, I like the artist Jim Lee. I'll follow him to the ends of the earth, but I never read it. The Black Vault.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Man. Yeah.
I bought
so
the graphic novel just last week, and I read through it. I was like, I want more.
Yeah.
More.
And Aquaman is getting better.
Yes.
Wonder Woman... I don't know. I'm really excited for Shea Fontana. I think we're going to get into that later when we review Justice League. But she wrote her first book that we've seen other than DC Superhero Girls, which is a kid's book.
And it was really good.
And it was very good. It was very nice to read a good Justice League book for once in a little while. So, but we got a little more news to cover. So next one is... Wow. Sorry, links aren't working. So... Suicide Squad 2 starts shooting in 2018? ?
Yay!
I don't know. This is unconfirmed. I don't know. This is. It's been nearly a year since Suicide Squad first invaded theaters, and while we know it didn't do that well, it hasn't given us much of the way and solid information about the sequel. Yeah. So where's as far as I know, they're writing the script, and I think the plan is to shoot something in 2018, but that could change. I think I'll definitely come back for it. and that is Rick Flag, or the actor who played him, which is Jai Courtney.
Right.
So that's an actor. Actors typically. I heard. What's the guy that Joss Whedon always?
You should know that, Ben.
I know. No, I know, right? What's the guy that Joss Whedon always directs?
The Avengers.
No,
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
He looks like Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
So he kind of like made a funny thing of saying like, people will ask me if I have any spoilers for upcoming projects or anything. And he's like, dude, I go where they go to me and they tell me what to say, what to do. Do I sound like someone who knows what's going on here? Like, I mean, like
I love
the
Nathan
actors.
Fillion.
Yeah, he's great. He's awesome. Like,
I would love to see him in a starring role in somewhere. Marvel, DC, anywhere, but
there's been a lot of people that have wanted him to be Green Lantern.
Hal Jordan,
because
he's
the voice.
If he buffs out, I'd say yes as Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
He'd be good. But I was just sidetracked. I was just watching an old movie this morning. It's called Inner Space.
I love that movie.
Yes, with what's his name?
Not
Steve Martin. Wow, that's bad.
I don't remember. It's been so
anyways,
long. We're king of movie facts
yes,
here at NCR.
Dennis Quaid is in it, and in my mind, when I look at Dennis Quaid from the 80s and the 90s, I see Hal Jordan.
Oh,
yeah, that's true.
It's
I do.
like,
yeah, I agree with that. So.
I just do. Unfortunately, he's a little older, but I mean, if you wanted to do a Parallax movie,
that would be awesome.
He would fit it in today's. Sorry,
man.
Anyways.
How about that new DC cinematic movie intro that they displayed for Wonder Woman? Holy shit! That was. Did you see it?
I did.
Did you see the picture, or did you see the whole thing?
Just the picture. Well, no, I saw the whole thing. Sorry, and then I froze the last frame to take a picture of that, and. In the background of all the characters that are supposed to be in the cinematic universe, right?
It's Catwoman.
Back left, right behind Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's Dr. Fate.
Oh, really?
It looks like he's wearing a helmet, and his suit is glowing, and he's got a cape. I think that's Dr. Fate.
They need...
Skeptical, right? Or, that word. The
Speculate.
Thank you.
Yep.
Go for it. Let's hear from our fans. But I was trying to go through it because everything's all grayed out because they don't want to tell it. But I was super excited to see the Green Lanterns floating behind because there's more than one in there. So we've got a core movie coming up. We've got the actual Green Lantern movie. Maybe
I think they got to go like Hal, Jon Stewart, and Guy for the first one. I mean, I'd love for him to do a Simon and Jessica movie. But I think in order for them to do a Simon and Jessica, they have to have Hal, Guy, and John and Kyle. Yeah, they really need those four.
And you know what? I think you could get a great ensemble cast and have those four all on one screen.
Oh man, make it like an A-Team type thing where it's like these four random dudes getting thrown together. I mean like that. I mean, you'd have to change up some of the stuff about their origin and stuff to fit into the cinematic universe. Yeah. But any movie's going to have that. Yeah. I think I would really enjoy that. So,
I would too.
All right, so more news. Arrow's Deathstroke wants his own show, and his co-creator agrees.
Deserves it.
Manu Bennett says, I think the most important person to get behind any Deathstroke original series is Marv Wolfman, who created the character, and Marv Wolfman says, much appreciated. I love Deathstroke, and I was overjoyed to see you return and would love to see you do more. This is just people talking, This isn't like nothing's in production. No one. But that would be cool. I don't know if they're gonna do it though, because I think that the cinematic movie they're using Deathstroke, and they typically in Arrow they killed off Amanda Waller right as Suicide Squad movie was coming out because they didn't want people to get confused. Which who's gonna get confused about that anyway?
But they also brought Superman in through Supergirl, so I mean, there's hope. I mean,
there is, I'm not saying it couldn't happen. I would love to see it.
Oh, heck yeah, man! Yeah. I think a Deathstroke series for the CW would be great.
Yeah. So
they can take that darker turn. Yeah, that they need to take.
Yeah, I agree totally.
What else we got in the news, man?
2 more pieces. DC Comics Bombshells relaunching with new heroines, new theaters of war, new perils, new crises, and new smooches.
Nice.
So I have no idea what I guess they're launching new versions of the DC Bombshells, which in Iowa, we're big fans of the DC Bombshells because the artist, which is I forget.
Aunt Lucia is
Aunt
one.
Lucia. He invented them, I believe. I think. I don't quote me on that, but I think he invented the DC bombshells.
And isn't he from like Cedar Rapids or somewhere?
No, he's from Southside Des Moines.
Yeah.
Oh, is he? Okay, cool.
He went to school at Grandview.
Oh, wow.
So Marguerite Bennett says we have a whole new and ongoing digital first series coming late this summer. So this is actually a series of comics. It's a digital series that they're doing. So maybe we'll try and review this for the show. I think Noah's a fan of the bombshells. I've never read any of them, but I would love to sit down and read some of them. So,
this art's fantastic. Yeah,
it's fantastic. Yeah. So good. I really want some of the statues of for my wall up there. Yeah. Last piece of news. It is a sad day today. We just found out before we recorded that Adam West passed away. And, man, that just sucks all the way around. Just no good.
If it wasn't for Adam West, there would not be the Batman craze that there was.
I mean, he definitely, I think he linked it to, that pop culture sense of, it's no longer just comic fans. It's normal kids who watch TV and maybe don't read comics, you know. I mean,
well, he was definitely the lighter version of Batman.
Right.
And he actually fought in court against DC when they tried to make Batman the darker, broodier version
with Frank Miller.
Mm-hmm. No, you'd have to go back and look it up.
This is probably back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Well, historically. Because in the 80s, when
they switched him and they switched it to an actual dark version, it's no longer that. You know how they produce the comics Batman 66 now?
Yeah.
That used to be how he was portrayed, Batman, in the comic books. And then they just they took a huge turn and made him that Dark Knight version. And he didn't like it, and he was like, "Listen, kids read this, kids pay attention, and they watch my show. Let's this is for the kids. Let's try to get them, a wholesome thing." Yeah. And good for him. I mean, it's nice, but at the same time, I do believe if there was never a Batman TV show, it probably would have stunted the growth of the Batman line. By probably at least 20 years.
And he hit you so hard that the sound came off, in the background.
Yeah. That's one of my first memories is sitting in my front room with my dad watching the Batman movie and all that stuff. And I was like, holy Batman, he's got shark repellent. And him running down the docks with that giant bomb,
Right. Yeah.
It's just he actually used the Batman utility belt.
Yeah, yeah.
So
every time I see a red telephone, I think that's Batman.
Right. So historically, how that happened, though, with... And I don't know, because Batman's been through so much over the decades and decades. Yeah. But I do know that in the 80s, when Frank Miller wrote Dark Knight Returns, that was one of the biggest comebacks for Batman, because Batman had become this sort of jokey character that people... It lost popularity because people weren't fans of just the lighthearted nature of it. Yeah. And Frank Miller took his Frank Miller spin on it, wrote The Dark Knight Returns, and that brought back the craze. That's also, I mean, you can see the history in that too. Aquaman 3 years later became this dark long-haired guy with the hook for a hand in the 90s. Yep, I mean, it's just everything followed around along that. But Frank Miller set that thing. He was the one who set it there. So it was just interesting to see the various turns that Batman's taken and. Getting back to Adam West, I'll edit that part out. Getting back to Adam West, though, he's just a part of the Batman legacy, and just I don't know, man. My heart goes out to his family. That sucks. So
88 years old, a bucket of wind, man.
Yeah, and that's certainly a good long life. So All right, so we will move things on to the book reviews. All right, so getting to the book reviews. First off, we are going to talk about one of the books that I felt had the biggest things happen this week, I guess. Batman number 24, and this is by Tom King with art by Finch, Miki, Mann, and Belair. So, Batman number 24, Gotham Girl is finally getting back to normal. She's lived through the trauma of losing her entire family and dealing with the effects of Psycho Pirate, but now she's ready to move on with her life. No, she's just trying to figure out. Now she's just trying to figure out what to do now that she's free from psycho powers. So if she uses her powers, she will eventually die. To get help deciding on the next move, she turns to Batman for some wisdom, because he's kind of been like a confidant. He just saved her ass from Psycho Pirate's effects and all that stuff. So the whole 24 issues has kind of led up to this point, and it's kind of cool because it's like this has been something that was from day one. So the conversation gets deeper as Batman begins discussing his own life. They talk about being scared and sad and whether or not they're happy, and Batman says he isn't happy. Go figure. He tries to be happy, but just can't seem to get there. Gotham Girl tells him it's okay to be scared and to be happy, and that's enough for Batwoman. And through this whole, or Batman, through this whole thing, we've seen this parallel story that's running where he's talking to Catwoman, and at the end of it, he asks Catwoman to marry him, and that's where we leave off. Yeah. So,
ooh, a wedding.
I know. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure she's gonna say no. So
think so?
I do. Yes, I'm like 99.9% sure.
There's a little bit of DC history there that says that they have a child and it becomes Huntress, but
really,
yeah,
but Huntress is already in there.
Yeah,
but
Huntress.
Yeah.
Well, there's
who's
been
Huntress?
multiple. Huntress is Helena Bartonelli.
Yes.
She's awesome. She was actually Dick Grayson's partner in Spiral. They both kind of left the superhero gig after they. Was she outed too?
Oh yeah, she's in Birds of Prey right now too.
Yeah.
So that can't. Yeah.
Well, but there's been more than one Huntress.
Yeah.
There's 3.
Let's see. It was in No Man's Land. She was actually the relative of Bruce Wayne. So,
yeah.
Or no, it was before that. Sorry. Yeah. There's just it's. Well, we're talking about comics, right? So everything gets rebooted, but yeah, no, I don't know. Art was pretty cool. I wasn't seeing that switch up there with the whole proposing to Catwoman.
All the art on this page with the cityscape and that 1 point perspective. Yeah. Oh, and the one with the end. There was just some beautiful artwork in here, man. The artwork. I wish that. Oh, man, I couldn't find the page. Oh, here it is. The page where it's kind of mixed in. That's why I couldn't find it. It's mixed in. So David Finch did the pencils on this, and Danny Meeke did the inks. Clay Mann and Seth Mann did the inks and pencils on certain pages as well. So, yeah, that's weird because you couldn't tell that it changed up. Like, the art was pretty seamless.
Yeah.
You know, I think I do want a Bat Baby between Catwoman and Batman. The more and more I think about it, and then later on there can be a big battle between the Bat Baby and Damian Wayne.
Yeah, I know, right? Because we know what Damian turns out like in the future,
right. Yeah,
and the Batman Beyond is part of canon. It is part of Earth 1. It is.
It is.
Oh yeah, I just recently did some research and found out that is the future for this universe. Now, nothing's set in stone, obviously, but like that is how it turns out. So, yeah, man, I don't know. I've talked to some people about this. Some people are upset. They say it's nothing new. It's happened before. Yeah. Some people say it's just kind of a dumb thing to do. I say to that, comics are supposed to be fun. Batman is a character that we all care about a lot. Why can't he be happy? Why can't he get engaged? Why can't he grow as a character into? Because as much as I love Batman, he's one of the least developed or grown characters. Yeah. I mean, he is who he started as, which is just a vigilante fighting crime.
Yeah. At like 10 years old, like the TV show.
Yeah, man. I mean, like and I love him for what he is. He's a very interesting character, and he's great. Obviously, everyone loves Batman, but why can't we see him get married? Why can't we see him have a kid? Which we have seen him have Damian, obviously.
Especially because his father just told him to give up Batman. So this could be part of that. Like, this is me getting a part of my humanity back. You know, I'm put myself out there, and then she'll squash him, and then he'll just be back to normal. You know.
Yeah, yeah. So what do we think of the issue as a whole?
Can I backpedal here just a little bit?
Yeah.
With Selena,
what is backpedaling?
Yeah, I know.
You should be a politician. Sorry.
Ouch. No. How did Selena get away from the whole trial thing where she killed a bunch of people?
Oh, Batman got her out of it.
Yeah.
How?
I forget.
It was somebody else that did it, and she was it was like her protege.
Okay, now I remember. Yeah.
I don't remember because there was that big issue.
A cousin or something that was a protege or something along those lines.
Like Tom King just did an issue that's solely focused on Batman and Catwoman. Like, and that was that issue.
Yeah. And that's my bad. I bounce in and out of the storyline. So
so many books. Who can be expected to know all of them? So.
No. I love the art. It was great. I liked the story. I didn't see the whole wedding thing. Other than that, the engagement. Other than that, I'd say probably Holy.
Hold that. We got a rating system here. We'll play that rating system for new listeners so you know what we're talking about.
If a comic book is bad, we rate it as blasphemy. If the book is good, we give our blessing. If the book is not bad, not good, but just kind of meh, we rate it as stuck in purgatory. If the book is great, we rate it as holy. And if a comic book exceeds all standards of awesomeness, we rate that book as salvation.
All right, so that's our rating system. If you haven't been listening to us, or if you're a new listener, which if you are, what are you doing, man? Get your life together. Start listening to us.
Priorities,
every
man.
week. Come on, man. We're here. We're talking about comics. So, all right. I give this one a solid holy, though, man. I really, really enjoyed it. I don't care what anyone else says. I love Tom King's Batman run. I think it's a perfect way to follow up Capullo and Snyder's New 52 run. Yeah. So far, it's made me nothing but happy, and it's given me a lot of really fun conversations with people. So I really enjoyed this one. What do you guys say?
Agreed. Holy.
Nice. All right.
When does Capullo come back, by the way?
So Dark Knight's Metal is a summer event.
Sweet.
I got the review copies for next week. And it starts with Dark Days The Forge, #1, and we got that. We have it. So when we're done podcasting here, I'm gonna send that to you guys. Nice. I have not touched it yet. I haven't had time, but it looks interesting. So I literally have just skimmed a couple pages, and that's it. So so we will keep things moving on here, and I'm gonna let you guys tell me what you want to review. So who wants to go next?
I'll go. I gotta go Justice League.
Justice League. All right. What number is it?
Issue number 22, 1,000 Little Things.
There should be like little hopeful music in the background while you do this, man.
I know. It's great.
It's so awesome to say this, but it was written by Shea Fontana.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. I didn't say another 2 words after written by, which is nice.
Yep.
Art by Philly Baronis.
Okay.
So a short recap for you is the Green Lanterns, Baz and Jessica, save Earth from a deadly asteroid that was on a dead-end collision. Think Armageddon. They get back to Watchtower just in time to get interviewed by Lois Lane. As Lois and Lane are about to get boom tube back to Earth by Cyborg, Cyborg picks up an alien life force on the Watchtower and quarantines everyone. Looks like Baz and Jessica brought a microscopic alien on board without even knowing it.
Classic
Simon
rookie mistakes.
Yeah, rookie move.
The GLs feel bad for themselves as they feel like they made the huge rookie mistake by not checking for microbes, because that's what you think,
Yeah, you check for microbes, man. Come
hey,
on.
Baz, can you check me for microbes?
Yeah. Something funny happening on the old Watchtower this night.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Wonder Woman decides to make them feel better by training with them. During the sparring match, a swarm of bugs make their own warrior and kicks the crap out of the League. But they quickly realize that it is mimicking Jessica. Superman goes all Mr. Miyagi with Jessica and helps her control them. Jessica ends up putting all the bugs in a giant bug jar construct, and the GLs find a new home on an asteroid not on a collision course with Earth. This was a really good issue. It's a standalone. It was fun. It was a quick read. The art was good. It made sense.
It wasn't fantastic, but yes, it was it was a solid book.
Right.
I gave it an 8 out of 10 on the website when I reviewed it. So.
Yeah, I mean, and it was weird because Justice League has been constantly bad for so long that I was waiting for it to go bad. Every time I went to the new page, I'm like, okay, it's going to take a turn for the worse. The JL has constantly been bad for so long that I've been waiting for it to go bad every time I went to the next page. And I was pleasantly surprised that it didn't happen.
Yeah.
This is a great, fun book. The issue is best paired with Honey Nut Cheerios and chocolate milk.
Good point.
The art was fine.
Sounds good.
It is good. That's what I was eating when I read it. So
yeah.
Well, it was carnation. It wasn't chocolate milk, but
Whatever.
But the art was fine. This is a great one-off story. They should do this way more often. The writer did fantastic. It was I'm really looking forward to her Wonder Woman run. It was just a great story. I loved how they ended it with Wonder Woman telling Jessica and Baz that she wasn't training them; she was training with them. Which,
that was nice.
Huge end. Such a great ending of a book. Just like
it kind of
confirms,
the whole time.
Confirms like that Jessica and Baz are part of the team.
There was no jumping through time, or we'll pick it up in 6 more issues.
Right.
Yeah. It was
you just
succinct.
show back up.
Yeah. I was honestly a little worried, Brad, when I read this because I got to the second page and I saw the Watchtower. They're saying, "Oh, someone's going to destroy it." And I was like, "Oh God, not again!" Because every Justice League run, the Watchtower plummets to Earth or something like that happens. I'm like, "Oh no, are we going to get that again?" But no, we didn't. It was awesome. So
I think we need a solo series just called Watchtower.
Yeah,
I know.
Just have like random superheroes go up there and CW call me.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I enjoyed it. I don't think it was a perfect issue by any means, but it was definitely the dialogue was a little cartoony for me sometimes.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
there were some points I don't know. The whole shower scene with Jessica Cruz
was unneeded.
It was a little weird for me.
Yeah.
There was one panel in particular that I felt like, why is that?
Yeah.
Why is that here? But
I mean,
but it's whatever, I guess.
But she's panicked about everything, so she's trying to get the
no. It's
the
just literally.
up,
it's not her showering. It's like you could draw her showering and that would be fine, but there's one panel where they just focus on a particular area and it's like a book for kids, so it's like why do you have to focus? I don't know, but again, like that, it is what it is. That's an artistic choice. I can't really argue with it that much. I love watching John and Cyborg play video games together.
That was good.
That was really because that's what I would be doing with Cyborg.
Yeah,
I'd be
doing
playing
the whole Star Wars chess game.
Yeah, except super more
So,
Cyborg has some good video games inside his program or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out
if Cyborg freezes, do you pop a panel open on him and go?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Just blow on the back of my head really fast.
All right, Joyce. That's probably not appropriate for this issue, or this episode. Anyway, I couldn't decide whether to give this a blessing or a holy. I was going back and forth, so I'm just going to leave it as a blessing / holy.
Cool.
I agree. And I know we're trying to come down on one side or the other of that fence, but I agree. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
And it gives me hope for the next issue. So.
Absolutely.
Oh.
I don't know about you guys.
Brian Hitch is coming back, so this was
a
short reprieve.
But maybe he learned something. Maybe he just needed a little break. Maybe
I've said that too many times.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, so we will move things on. Travis, what do you want to cover next?
Let's do Green Lanterns 24. Let's keep the green flowing here, right?
Cool.
So Green
Justice
Lanterns,
League, then Green Lanterns, both green.
Well, it's Justice League was about the Green Lanterns.
No, that's what I mean.
Green Lanterns number 24, Lost in Space. We've got Humphreys,
Danger, Will Robinson,
Barbaria, Santorelli, and Aurelio.
Aurelio.
Hello, how are you? Oh, yeah. Kyle finishes training Baz by telling him that he passes if he can punch Kyle just once. Via a training montage that I haven't seen since the Three Stooges, Baz outsmarts him with a pie to the face, which I kind of liked. That was pretty cool.
It was cool.
It was, yeah.
Very comic jokey, which that's all Kyle right there.
Yeah. No, it was awesome.
Yeah. Jess and Guy duke it out in the woods, but Guy doesn't take it easy on her. He taunts her about being her own worst enemy. She listens and chooses to get out of her way and then lays the beat down on Gardner, passing her test as well. In a sub-story, we find out that 10 billion years ago, when the white Martians laid waste to the planet Mars, that a Green Lantern ring was bestowed to a rebel white Martian, but it carried a message of there is a crisis in the universe. You are needed. Rather than the normal Green Lantern slogan, you have the ability to overcome fear.
Well, it did say that to her, too.
Yeah.
To who?
It said, you have the ability to overcome great fear. Then it said there's a crisis in the universe.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed
needed.
that. Sorry. Yeah. No, sorry.
But, it
normally it doesn't have that secondary message.
That second part is like, that seems like...
So I was a little lost at the end of that. I was like, what's the point of 10 billion years ago? What's the point of it? And then we have another story that's threaded in with that, and we find it's Rami's in his library, which Rami is not Rami. He's Volthoom. He's researching what happened 10 billion years ago when he created took the travel lanterns and a travel lantern busted it down into 7 rings. So maybe we'll have a white Martian that's been out there with one of the rings because he can't locate all 7 of the rings that were made from the travel lantern. So he's going to go out, get all 7, and recreate his travel lantern so he can go home.
That's how that works.
Yeah, evidently.
Okay. I didn't know.
From what I'm reading here, that's how I took it.
That was talked about in the issue prior to that because they're doing one of the 7 first Green Lanterns in each issue.
Honestly, I've had a little bit of a hard time following, what he's getting at or what his plans are.
Rami's looking through all the books and everything in his library, and he finds out that Jessica Cruz has one of the 7 rings, and it's been hiding under his nose the entire time. So Rami convinces the other Guardians that he can fix the ring recruitment subroutine program, because right now all the rings are just shooting off into space somewhere instead of going and finding another recruit. But he needs a security detail to follow him into the Vault of Shadows. Anybody remember Vault of Shadows?
Nope.
I'm pretty sure I remember that from... about a year ago, pre-52, where I can't remember what the Guardians are called. The original Guardians we knew went and got Volthoom from the Vault of Shadows, and they released the older version of the Guardian. Anyways, we're going to get hate mail about that. Right. Anyways, but that's like the super secret area where nobody can go into or should ever go into, and that's where they're going to go. So,
okay.
This was supposed to be the conclusion, correct?
Correct.
Yep. So,
to the
to this story
training day type
Lost
stuff.
in Space
Lost
line.
in Space.
It was okay, kind of jokey, which I come to expect. The art was good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to rate this one real high. I'm going to give it a blessing.
Okay.
That's where I was at.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all about the inflection in your voice when you say blessing, because sometimes that can be good, and sometimes it can just be like,
Yeah. I don't think it's a purgatory, because I'm definitely going to get the next one.
Yeah.
But, So
I enjoyed it.
Anybody have any idea who the little guy is standing in front of the Vault of Shadows? Because he's
think
blue.
That's the white... Oh, really?
He looks blue to me.
There goes my theory. Oh.
Maybe he's a blue-white Martian.
I don't know. I mean, it's shrouded in shadows, so I think it could be the white Martian.
No, he's got hair. That's not a Martian. I mean, here.
Yeah. See, what I took that as was one of the older Guardians before they shrunk themselves down.
But it has a green sword, so that looks like a sword made of willpower.
Willpower, yeah.
Is it a sword? I looked at it and I thought it was like a construct console or something, like he'd stand.
Oh yeah.
It's a kiosk stand. Welcome to the Black Shadows. Would you like to have the cornered booth table over here?
Maybe that's it. I think it's left intentionally vague.
2 for the Vault of Shadows, please.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. For this one, though, I really enjoyed it. I liked watching Simon and Jessica train. I thought that was really fun.
Yeah.
I especially liked the whole thing with Jessica and her trainer.
Guy.
Yeah, because that was just classic Guy Garner. It was super fun. So, yeah, I enjoyed it, though. I think I give it a blessing. Yep. So, all right, we will move things on to my final book of the week, which is Green Arrow number 24. Story on this one is by Benjamin Percy. Art is by Juan Ferreira. So Oliver makes his way to the Ninth Circle chambers beneath Queen Industries. There he sees Cyrus and some Ninth Circle lackeys. Cyrus tries to persuade Ollie to join the Ninth Circle because apparently most of Oliver's family have done that at some point in the past too. So Ollie answers Cyrus's request by shooting an arrow into the mask of Cyrus's head, which for a second there I thought that like Cyrus had really died. That I was like, wow, that ended fast. But he's not really dead. He just hits his mask. So, meanwhile, Emmy, Arsenal, Black Canary try to follow Oliver into Queen Industries, but are halted by Cheshire and Brick, and all of them break out into a pretty badass-looking fight. The Ninth Circle needs a queen at the center of their star in order to for the prophecy to come true and for the Ninth Circle to claim ultimate power.
Ultimate power.
That's what we all want. So Cyrus sees that he isn't getting anywhere with Ollie, so he decides maybe they'll use Emmy instead. If I can have you, maybe sister. Yeah, right. All right.
Very.
Star Wars. Get you feel. Yeah. All right. So, being a good big brother, Oliver puts an end to Cyrus by shooting a lantern above his head, sending Cyrus into the real life version of the Burning Man. When the vigilantes are fighting for their city, Mayor Nathan Dominy has taken his entire press conference to the Space Needle Rebel to show them the projection of what will be built in its place. Buildings that will turn Seattle into Star City. Oliver emerges from underground just in time to see this projection in the sky. He rushes to the scene not as Green Arrow, but as Oliver Queen, and tells the press he wants his company back. This freaks people out because supposedly he's a criminal that was supposed to be dead, so naturally they arrest him, and it's the end of the story arc. And we're going to pick things up next time in...
Broken
Arrow. They name these really well. Like, The Rise of Star City was a good one. Broken Arrow is a really good one. What was the one before that? I forget. It was something funny. Emerald Art.
Something.
I don't know. Anyway, yeah. But overall in this issue, I thought it was great. Juan Ferrer's art, it's always a treat. I always really enjoy his artwork. It's an interesting art style for me because it's very like painterly sort of. It looks like someone painted it with like oil paint, and the panel layouts are kind of cool. Like there's that one panel with all this. It's made out of like the whole page is a star and like everything's inside a section of it. So that's pretty cool. Obviously, having Victoria Much in here is one of my favorite things about the issue. You know, redhead reporter lady. Yeah, she's one of my favorite parts always. So simmer
down.
I really like. I do think it's really great that I just for some reason I like this character a lot when she was written. And I tweeted Benjamin Percy about it, and she died in that issue, supposedly.
Right.
But then she came back in such a big way, and she's like a huge part of the story now. Yeah. So it's kind of...
You see where he's going with this?
Yeah.
He brought her back.
I know.
I brought her back.
Yeah. Take that credit, man. Yeah. Go for it.
I know. Yeah, that's what I did. So, all right. So I enjoyed this, though. I think it's a great story, really fun art. Really, Benjamin Percy's a Class A writer. I really like his work, and I enjoy it more than I enjoy a lot of the bigger books at DC right now. So I give this one a strong Holy. What do you say, Brad?
Man, I agree with Holy. I was kind of confused on is this the end or more because it kind of doesn't feel like everything it ended.
No, and it never does with Benjamin Percy's stories. I mean, it just kind of leads you into the next one.
Right. And so I kind of hope that I'll have a little more closure moving forward. But, I mean, the arc was great.
I did think maybe it was wrong that they killed off, what's his name so fast?
Cyrus?
Yeah. Like, I felt like that was a really, I don't know. Yeah. But I think the big bad villain here is going to be Mayor Dominy. Right. I think that's what he's building up to is like that mayor being like at the top of everything.
Right.
Like he heads the Ninth Circle. And
he's the Emperor. He's the Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah, exactly. So I think like that's gonna be like where things really come to a giant like head or whatever. So.
Right, and in moving forward, there's going to be a bunch of Green Arrow team ups. I mean, because they were teasing on Twitter that Superman's going to be doing an issue of Green Arrow.
Oh yeah,
and then there is a tease with Wonder Woman, and so I don't know if it's just gonna be like a Justice League part, or maybe the JL's trying to recruit him. But
that'll be interesting though.
Depends who's writing it.
Yeah, it does always. So,
but yeah,
I agree. So one thing I wanted to point out too, he's wearing Vans, which I thought was weird.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Ollie is wearing skateboard shoes. That just seems. It reminds me of Captain America: The Winter Soldier, when him and Scarlett Johansson go undercover and they go to the Apple store, and like she's like, just try not to run, and he's like, I couldn't run in these shoes, like because they're like these skater shoes that are like falling off. Yes.
He is very, very Captain America-ish build.
Yeah, he does. Like on this last splash page, he looks like Captain America a little.
Huh. Until you said that, but yeah, you are absolutely right.
Yeah.
Throw a blonde goatee on Captain America, and you got Oliver Queen, I guess.
Yeah, you kind of do.
Cool.
So, all right, we will move things on. Brad, what do you got for us next?
I have Nightwing number 22, written by Tim Seeley and art by Miguel Mendoca. Okay.
It's the Doka banana.
Mendoca.
Sorry.
You guys are dorks.
Yeah, you know. All right, so Nightwing kicks the crap out of a couple of rival gangs using alien tech. Then we see a guy get in trouble for counting cards. Nightwing goes back to some romance with Sean.
Wow.
Tiger Shock throws bow wow.
Yeah.
Look, a quarter. Bounced bow wow. Okay, anyway. Tiger Shark throws the card counter in a tank, and he gets eaten by a couple of sharks with his tiger on the side. Tiger Shark. Yeah. And then Blockbuster shows up and knocks Nightwing out and then offers him a job. That was about the book.
Yeah, and I did not get to this one yet. I'm going to read it because I want to keep up on it. But what did you think?
Man, it was good, but it was choppy, and that's why I had a hard time reviewing it. I mean, like, I didn't feel like it flowed very well. I gave it a blessing. The art was good. The story was just kind of all over the place in this one. They showed the ruthlessness of Tiger Shark, and then so the guy is Blockbuster, which is Roland. I can't think of his last name. Roland somewhere or other. But anyway, he's the second Blockbuster. And Nightwing at the end references the original Blockbuster, who I guess was just kind of a not there mentally, and he had put him. He's in Blackgate Prison. Him and Batman put him there. And then this guy Roland, that's his brother. So they take the serum, kind of like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type thing.
Gotcha.
And then he hulks out and just becomes like a total rage monster, but then loses brain capacity, and that's the whole thing with Blockbuster. But Roland is the second. There's 4 different Blockbusters. He was in Arkham Knight. Blockbuster was in Arkham Knight.
Blockbuster's also a Marvel character too.
Oh, really?
Cool. Yeah. I remember him being in the Deadpool video game.
Oh.
Yeah, and he's what you would picture. And he's just a giant. He's called Blockbuster, and he's a giant dude. But yeah.
Cool. But yeah. I don't know where this is going, but I know the guy that is Blockbuster is working for Tiger Shark, and he had to seek out Nightwing to offer him a job. I'm assuming to go after Tiger Shark. So we'll see.
Nice. Cool. Blessing.
Yeah, blessing.
Travis, did you read this one?
I did not.
No.
Oh, it was good to see Sean back.
Yeah,
and then it was they were doing the romancy thing, and then Dick Grayson is thinking of Barbara.
Oh, really?
Right. So there was
yikes.
Right. So there was
That's not good.
He's going bow wow with Sean, and then there's a panel of Barbara. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ugh, that's not good.
Yeah. So
guy's name is Roland Desmond.
Thank you.
Oh
very
yeah.
much.
Okay. Yeah, I do see the. Oh man, that's not good for Shauna.
Right. So.
But I think those two belong together, honestly.
I kind of like Barbara and Dick.
Barbara and Dick, Babs and Babs.
But
and
I do like that character as Sean. I mean,
I do too.
I don't think she'll ever be a huge part of the story, but.
I mean, I want to see her be, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if she's got what it takes, or if they're gonna get. I mean, you can write any character to be the center of any story. It's just, are they gonna give her that much attention?
Well, and I think they kind of like the whole little not defacer, but the group that meets every week. I can't.
Yeah, I forget what
all those guys,
all the former bad guys. Yeah,
the reformers or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
and I think they kind of shot themselves in the foot if they ever wanted to have a series with them because they're like, oh, crap's getting bad. Bye. See you later.
And people really didn't like those.
No, they didn't.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of cheesy villains and stuff. So, yeah, it was silly.
So, do you guys think, is Nightwing going to stay in Bloodhaven? Do you think that's going to be, they're going to just kind of keep him there?
I think he kind of needs to.
I think so, too.
That's his stomping grounds, That's his city, so yeah.
Cool.
All right, so we will move things on to our final book of the day, and that is Superman number 24.
Oh, man.
Oh, don't even.
Superman number 24, Black Dawn.
Come in here with that stuff.
Gleason Maneke. I wanted to make you sweat.
I know. Yeah, I know.
He's been sweating a lot today.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have.
So our story starts out with the origin of the Super Elite. We learn that the Elite and Cobb/Kathy are an alien crew that were attacked, and in their desperate state, Manchester Black saves them in order to convert them into his army or his squad.
Have you ever heard of the Super Elite before this?
His old team was named the Elite, but no, I've never heard of the Super Elite.
I wasn't sure if this was historically something that has been gone over.
Not that I know of. So call in, listeners, if you know. Leave us a message. So, meanwhile, Lois is recovering from her accident at the Hamilton Hospital. Clark, watching over her, has a heart-to-heart with her, and she sends him to go find their son. Superman heads to the Cobb farm to try and locate John. While powerlifting the corner of the house, he finds a series of tunnels that interconnect the city that are kind of futuristic and alien in origin. But as he decides he's going to go down into these tunnels to find John, John shows up right behind him. Here's Johnny, brought to you by Manchester Black.
Yeah.
Am I not the only one that thinks that Manchester Black looks a lot like Negan from Walking Dead?
Oh, see, I get a Punisher. I get a Punisher vibe from him.
I do too, but I don't watch Walking Dead.
I don't know. I just got like the black slick back hair and the dark leather jacket. I just thought he looked like Negan.
So I can pick this next 4 or 5 pages apart, piece by piece, because I was, dorking out on it, but I'm not going to. Fight ensues, monologue plays out to reveal that the town is controlled by Black, but the ship and Black are causing a rift to stay open that are letting all these monsters in. It's kind of a weird quasi, because I'm here, this is why it's happening, but at the same time I'm saving the town kind of thing. Black imprisons Supes and tries to get John to step up and be the dark version of Superman, but he won't do it willingly. So he takes over his mind. Black takes over John's mind and sends John and his elites to fight the Superman and the rest of the tubed prisoners, which are Frankenstein, Lady Frankenstein, Bats, and Robin. Yep. So everybody's free, and we get a cool little splash page at the end of a Black version. I'm sorry, a Manchester Black controlled version of John. And
I think the better version of this is he's kind of like the Peter Parker from Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, there you go.
I keep expecting him to do this really stupid emo dance.
Right.
That's just.
Ben is probably not going to agree with me on this, but are you ready? Drum roll, please. I give it a Salvation.
Holy shit!
My first and only one that I've done.
Okay.
Not only just the arc, but also this story. I think it is the perfect Superman story right now because it combines not only a wholesome Superman vibe, it also combines the crazy out there, out of control line of villains and everything that can pop out of sci-fi and space. The art is unbelievably fantastic. Yeah. I love the storyline. I love how we got this classic villain that is constantly testing and pushing Superman, and he in this storyline he almost says he's ready to kill, or he says he's ready to kill Manchester Black. He's putting the beat down on him, and he doesn't go there. Yeah. He gets interrupted, but he stops.
Wow.
I give it Salvation.
Nice.
Wow, that's just surprising to me because I mean,
I was really gonna do the Holy again, but I give it Salvation, man.
Okay,
I really
hey man, if it hit that place for you, yeah, go for it.
This was a great arc. I mean, even to the font that they used for Black Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I was Holy, so I mean, I'm right there with you. Superman's so hard to do because there's so little things you can do with him.
And did you realize in the statement where Black is trying to convince John that Superman's irrelevant?
Yeah.
He talks about what you just said right there.
Yeah.
He's like, who cares about a Superman that's incorruptible and a Boy Scout? It doesn't work in this day and age. Yeah. So you're the new one. You're going to step up and you're going to be the bad guy.
Right. And they killed the dog.
No.
Goldie.
No, Goldie's the cat.
No, Goldie, that's the cat that John accidentally killed her. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm like,
I did like that they brought that back.
Yeah.
And because that was...
It's constant Manchester Black screwing with your mind to become darker. So.
Yeah. I gave it a strong holy, though, man. And just to give you an idea, because you're not alone, I mean, there are quite a few 9.5s, 9.3, 9.5 on Comic Book Roundup. Got an average rating of 8.2, average user rating of 8.5. So, I mean, it was high up there for sure. And, most things don't get average ratings above that. I mean, it's because, you always have the people that are given, 6s and 7s to everything, you know? So, but, yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it, though, man. I thought it was a lot of fun. It sort of set me off at first. Just it started at a weird place for me because I was like, "Who's this green girl and what's going on?" But once you find your footing and realize where you are and okay, this is Cobb and his daughter. Then it's okay, it falls into place and it just keeps moving from there, and it's really good.
It made you care about Cobb and the daughter and them too.
And I care about it.
I like them as characters and wanted to see more from them. If not, immediately maybe an arc or two down the road where we go hey, that's Cindy. Is it Cindy? Kathy.
I don't think they're going to make it through this issue.
No,
or this arc. I think Manchester will take care of them.
Yeah,
I think they're going to be probably. My prediction is that they will be the thing that saves Superman or gives Superman the leg up to beat Manchester, but they'll get killed in the process, and then Manchester and Superman will defeat Manchester.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm drawing a blank, but I think Cobb actually did die, or he's
it looks
super bad. But Kathy's okay. Yeah. But anyways, I think I think you're absolutely right, Ben, with the whole. I think Kathy is going to be the one that sets Superman and John free from Manchester's hold, and starts resetting the town of Hamilton or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
I think she'll close the rift that they talk about, and maybe even imprison or help imprison Black.
Yeah.
But look how far we're speculating on this.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know it's great.
I love it. I love the art, and I think it's the second page where the rift is happening. We see all the space squids.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
And all the little stuff that's happening, and then there's this guy that's not an alien. He's just Manchester Black, and he's saving them or he's tempting them. You know.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Yeah,
really
for
a guy that we never I didn't really know him about him until
No, I didn't either.
Really.
So.
I mean, what a great villain for Superman, and you can see the equality in the fight.
Yeah, I agree. So
they've done a good job giving him.
Yeah.
Developing him.
Yeah, he's a great villain. Yeah. So, all right, that's all we got for you guys this week. I think we ended it on a really strong note. Yeah. So, as always, if you want to find us anywhere, we are on nerdchurchradio.com with all our written reviews. We're on Twitter at Nerd Church Radio, Facebook at Nerd Church Radio. If you want to find our Patreon and, yes, help us keep the lights on, I'm at patreon.com/nerdchurchradio. Or we are, rather, I guess. And I am at my personal Twitter at IndieComicBen. Where can we find you, Brad?
I'm on the Twitter as well at Bradley, BradleyY _Butin, BUTIN.
And Travis.
I'm on Twitter as well. I'm at TritonTR, TRITONTR.
And with that, I will say peace be with you.
And also with you.
Peace out, planet Earth.
Go forth and read comics, everyone.